Welcome back to the AOS channel. Hope you're all doing well. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It looks well for me in my contract renewals if you could subscribe and like the video. 50 likes would be amazing. Go on the alt. It would be good for my contract negotiations in December to, get as many likes as possible, just so, they really want me. It gives me like a bargaining tool to get more money out of the company. So, like the video, subscribe, drop a comment down below. AOS takeover, whatever they be saying. But yeah, this is a Q&A, a question and answer video. Come up soon on the AOS channel. We've been a bit slow on content recently. I'll be the first to admit that, It's not really my job, it's their job. I still get paid either way if they do videos or no videos. This is my first video properly being in, by the way. So again, like the video. It does look nice in negotiations. I do want to sign a new contract and I want more money. So, get it going, boys. Appreciate it. You can check out my Twitter and all that stuff. Link in the description. Follow AOS and all the socials, blah, blah, blah. Link in the description down below, blah, blah, blah. There's an AOS podcast starting soon. We have a couple of guests lined up for that. I'll be the host, of course. So look out for that. The content should be back up and running on the channel, by the way. We're after getting a content manager in, content editor who's editing this video as well. How's it going? So everything's kind of in place now to get a lot of content done over the next couple of weeks. So hopefully there should be like 2 videos a week. I think that's what we're planning with all the content creators, all the boys, and then, well, not Raza, he left. We couldn't afford his demands. He wanted 2 Burger Kings a day. Yeah. Okay, so Q&A, question number 1. There's a couple of weird questions. I'll try and answer all of them. There's one or two weird ones. How's college going, and are you finding it hard balancing content in college? Yes. Very difficult. Anyone who goes to college will tell you it's horrible. Like, it is horrible. Like, getting a routine going and getting a new schedule. Like, I'm up every day at 5:30, and I don't come home till like 8 o'clock at the evening. Like, it's awful sometimes. But I edit my videos and my stuff. Like, I have a load of free periods during school, so I can just edit my own videos during school. I record on the weekends now, so every Saturday and Sunday, and I basically edit them during free classes and stuff inside in school, so everything is fine. I've definitely found it difficult though getting into a rhythm and getting into a schedule, but yeah, sorry, someone was texting me. E-girls. Bruh. But yeah, it's difficult balancing college with content, but I think I'm doing a good job with it. I just need to get into a swing of things. Next week, by the way, on my channel, daily uploads for the entire midterm, so look out for that. A question from Artie. What are some tips you would have for people who want to start doing content? Make what you love doing, and if you love what you're doing, then it won't feel like a chore. If you're constantly trying to chase numbers and goals, that can be a good thing at a certain point, but you have to get to a certain point before you can start looking to get really good numbers. First of all, how I would say about going about YouTube specifically is master your trade, and that kind of goes for everything as well. Master what you're really good at. It took me years to be able to sit in front of a microphone and a camera and start talking shit and just coming up with these jokes off the spot and just finding my own content. It took years. So, if you want to do YouTube and stuff properly, finding your niche and finding your trade and being good at that trade is really, really important. And then you can start aiming for different goals like 10k subs, 15k subs, 20k watch hours, all that sort of stuff. But first of all, get the fundamentals down, like how to talk to a camera, how to present yourself, how to edit your own videos if you can't afford it, how to get thumbnails done, blah, blah, blah. So getting the fundamentals down is really important for content and being unique. And if you're struggling to come up with concepts, I don't find it difficult to come up with video ideas. It's just one of those things. I find it extremely easy to come up with video ideas and just come up with stuff on the spot and different jokes and stuff, but it really does take a lot of practice if you want to go down that route. It's like freestyling a song kind of when you're doing a video like this. It's like if I like the intro, for example, I didn't really plan that. That was just come off the top of my head. Like freestyling in a way. It's like it just comes off the top of my head. Whatever way it comes out, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's difficult. It's either have it or you don't. But that's just for my type of content. Anyway. You can do from tutorials and just be boring and get views. So just stuff like that. I don't know. All about finding your niche and your passion. So if you weren't a content creator, what would you be? I'd probably just be doing college and then playing football. Really, I'd probably be playing more sports and doing college. I suppose probably that. What's your most favorite thing about AOS? Raza leaving was great. Freed up some of the wage bill. From a smaller content creator, do you have any tips on how to grow? Viagra does the job, mate. Can I be on the whiteboard pretty please? No, we have Cities today. Cities with a love heart, okay? Cities is a kinky guy. You don't hear a lot from Cities. He's one of the owners. He's the owner of AOS. You don't hear a lot of him. When you do, he's a very kinky guy. Let's just say it like that. He likes cheese strings. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Hopefully not dead. That would be amazing. But hopefully he's a full-time content creator. If content creation didn't work out, what job would you have? Well, in college, I'm doing like web design and film and broadcast and stuff like that. So I'd probably end up saying if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd probably end up working behind the camera or in front of a camera or in front of a microphone at like a radio station or working in the RT or something. I probably would end up doing that. Like, I feel like. What was the most fun part about your first day in AOS? So once I officially announced I joined, just like reading all the comments and stuff, because I did a stream when I announced it. So I'd probably say the stream was amazing. And the first like call officially in the team was just, I was on cloud 9. Who inspires me the most? Jacksepticeye, Juice World, True Geordie, and Lawrence, Joe Rogan. Basically anyone in the podcast space that I listen to, they inspire me. Jacksepticeye was the main reason I started doing YouTube, and then Juice World more recently. Kind of what's really interesting about the whole Juice World thing, and I get a lot of people ask me why I like like Juice WRLD so much. Like, I literally have him on me on literally all my walls. I have pictures of him and stuff, and I have my phone case has Juice WRLD on the back. I should probably answer that question. The reason I like Juice WRLD so much is that he got me through the toughest part of my life, just going through depression and anxiety, and I still get a lot of that shit now as well. But just his music was an escape for me, and the more I learned about him, the more I kind of related to him. And his work ethic is what I take most from him. He'd go into the studio and he'd freestyle 5 or 10 songs a night, and that's why he's so many unreleased songs. And I actually feel like in terms of content creation, I'm like, I make videos the same way he makes music. I just jump on front of a camera and just start like freestyling stuff, and it just comes off like jokes, different stuff like that. So I take a lot of influence from that. I take a lot of motivation from him as well. Like he says a lot of motivational shit that just gets me really deep. You can do anything if you put your mind to it, like work hard. Just that sort of moral I get a lot of from Juice. Like that's the main reason I've become attached to him over the last like year and a half. So yeah, I'd probably say Juice WRLD inspires me the most. I definitely wouldn't be doing content creation if it wasn't for him, because I was back in June, I wasn't doing that great. I was in SRN, the team was just dying kind of, and I wasn't doing great as a content creator. The podcast wasn't doing amazing for me, and then I started listening to these Juice WRLD stuff. Well, I was listening to Juice WRLD all along, by the way, like before that, like for years. But I started listening to these different talks he'd do, like at schools and stuff. I just started clicking it. Like, you can do anything if you put your mind to it, like work hard, blah blah. The most important thing is you can do whatever you put your mind to, and you can do whatever you see other people achieving. So if you see someone, I use Sabid as my example all the time. If you see Sabid being one of the best pro players in Fortnite, you can be that as well with hard work and dedication. Doesn't matter how late you're getting into the game, with hard work, dedication, you can get up to that level, and you can be up there on that level as well. So we're all human, we all have the same capabilities. You may be talented at something, but you can outwork talent. How you always keep the great positivity? I mean, on videos, I'm very, very positive, and I'm very energetic, and I'm very, like, to the point. But, like, I have massive anxiety attacks every week. I get depressed really, really often. Like, just chemical imbalances in my brain, and I just get completely just put down some days. But the thing is, with positivity, is if you can be a positive influence in someone else's life, then that'll get you out of your situation as well, in a way, and it'll distract you. So what I try and do is I try and make other people laugh, and that's my coping mechanism. I try and make other people laugh. I try and make other people see the positive in their situation. And, you know, you can flip any negative into a positive, and that's kind of what I try and do. So if I'm ever on a bad day, I'll be like, you know, I'll just think of a positive. I'll just think of a positive situation. That's how I get out of bed in the morning. What sports do you play, and do you still play in them? I play football religiously now. Like, I'm actually like addicted to it. I play centre mid for the college team, and I'm going to start playing with a local club as well. So football. I never played hurling or Gaelic football. I actually played a bit of Gaelic football. I was a keeper. I never really liked it. I never really liked Gaelic or hurling, so I never really got into it, which are both Irish sports, by the way. I was really good at chess back in the day, but I don't play it anymore. That's more finger sports. I have long fingers. It works well. Or my hobbies outside gaming. And I don't really game, so I don't really have, like, I literally don't play any games anymore. I play a bit of FIFA, like, when I have time, but I don't have time to play in games anymore. Like, I'm very busy every single day, like 12 hours, 18-hour days, like just going to college and just doing that, and then making content, streaming, podcasts. Like, I just don't have time to play games. I haven't played Fortnite since May, since I was casting the game. Like, I haven't played it since then. I play a little bit of FIFA on the side, and that's about it. Like, where do you want to be in 5 years time? 5 years time, I want to be able to make content a full-time thing, and I think next year will be huge for that. Come back to this in a year's time. In 12 months time, come back to this, because I think in 12 months time, I'll be a full-time content creator with my own channel. I think I'll be on 100k subs this time next year. So yeah, that's definitely the short-term goal. How did you get into making content? What inspired you? I kind of answered already. Jacksepticeye back in 2015. I've been watching Jacksepticeye since he was on like 50k subs, probably less, playing like Far Cry and GTA. Like, so I've always grown up with like a really, really good understanding of YouTube, and like how to portray yourself in front of the camera, how to engage an audience, like all the different tricks, I guess, how to make content and stuff. So it's one of those things you learn over time. But I kind of came into YouTube with that pre-knowledge, because I just absorb everything that I watch. That's why I'm so good at podcasts, because I literally spent 2.5 years watching True Geordie and Joe Rogan like religiously. So that's why I'm good at podcasts. I understand every situation that you could possibly get into. But yeah, that's how I started making content. Who's your favorite football player of all time? This is okay. Steven Gerrard, obviously. That's like Steven Gerrard is clear. He was the first, like, just one of the first footballers I fell in love with. But then I'd probably say Luis Suarez, and I'd say Mo Salah of all time. Like, of all, like, that I've ever watched. Those three. That'd probably say Xabi Alonso, maybe Iniesta. I loved Iniesta, man. Current players: Mo Salah, Thiago, Trent. Yeah. Whereas yourself 1 year from now, 100k subs on YouTube. In your opinion, what is the next step for AOS? Sincerely, AOS management. Next step for Ace of Spades has to be getting this YouTube channel going with consistent content, because the pro side, in terms of like Fortnite and competitive Fortnite, is doing really well for AOS. They just need to get the content down. Once they got the content down and they got all the content creators signed down to long-term contracts, we should be vibing. What I think is going to be really, really important is keeping all the content creators motivated, and then seeing if there's a problem, being able to address that problem, and be able to, you know, if a person isn't keeping up, or if they're not doing well, you know, get them out and just bring in someone someone else who can do that. I think just honestly, innovation and constantly improving your roster is really important for any esports team, from my experience. Do you know how many kids do I have? I have like 10 of them, but they aren't mine, and I only have them on the weekends. If you had to pick one thing to do for 2 years, what would it be? Your mother. What are you hoping to do after college? I want to work in radio. I feel like I'd be really good on the radio. That's like a goal of mine, like a short-term like job kind of thing. Work on the radio or make movies. What's my favorite primary school to go to? The one with the least gingers, because there's no point really. You know what I mean? It's like going to a children's hospital. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do there? What inspired you to make a podcast? The True Geordie was the main inspiration. I've been watching True Geordie's podcast since like the very first episode, and I always want to make my own podcast. And what was happening was he stopped making podcasts. Like, he wasn't making them as regularly enough, and I was like, shit, I might as well make one. And he's always been a passion of mine, so I got the equipment and stuff, and I just started setting it up, got a few of my friends on, then started getting superior content creators on. I've learned a lot about myself making the podcast as well. I've learned a lot about how I think and different stuff like that. When did I start making content? 2015 was when I uploaded my first video, but obviously it wasn't great. I did Minecraft for a year, then I did FIFA for a year. Both didn't work. I started doing vlogs for a year. I started doing football content for a year. None of that worked. I started doing Fortnite. I started building a little bit of an audience from Fortnite. I streamed on YouTube a lot. That got me to like 2 or 3k subs, and then from then it's been a slow, painful growth up until like till like March. I started doing the podcast, and then July I started doing my own original content. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Again, 50 likes would be amazing. I think that might do well for the contract negotiations. Again, follow me on all my socials down below. JakeMcBoss on YouTube, all that stuff. Go drop us a sub. On the road to 8,000 myself. But subscribe to AOS channel on the road to 2,000, I think. Podcast coming soon, all that sorts of stuff. So keep on the lookout. Post notifications on. Comment down below. I want to see a load of comments. If you want to be on the whiteboard for the next AOS video, comment down below cities. Okay, as it is there, cities in the comments down below, and I'll pick one person for the next video. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Slán go fóill.